Hello, everybody. We are
Hello,
here.
Fro.
It's time for the Outbreak Shades of Horror Development Roadmap Update Stream. That's a mouthful. The floating disembodied voice you hear is me. I'm CMM. Hi. And with
Hi,
me
man.
on video, I have Evan, who's not a disembodied voice. Hi, Evan.
I'm super here, and I got my Mike and Ike's. Oh
Hell
yeah,
yeah, baby.
I'm ready. I'm ready. They've been open now for 2 days, just sitting here open, so they're probably really good.
Hello, Grow Hello, Apophis.
Hello.
Hello, whoever your Shizu DDS is.
11 months. 11 months, tier three, baby. I'm going
So
for the
we have a lot to cover today. I wanted to give people a couple of minutes to roll in. We do have a new trailer for you to start with.
yeah.
Before we get into any of that, um, I'm gonna start our first giveaway. Um,
Right.
so we are going to be giving out a couple copies of Railbreak today. Um, and we'll get that first one rolling for you. Um, as always, type exclamation point ticket into the chat um, for a chance to win a copy of Railbreak on the winner's platform of choice. We'll be rolling this one probably about an hour, and then we'll have another to get us through the rest of the stream. Um,
I played
again,
Railbreak on the last stream. It was pretty good.
that what last stream?
I played Railbreak on the last stream. It was
Oh yeah,
pretty
you
good.
did. You shot a bunch of things and then died.
I did. I did die.
Um, so we can get that going. So that's ready again. Exclamation point ticket. One ticket per person. All you have to do is type exclamation point ticket, and you will show up on the list of people who may win. Next, more importantly, we have a new trailer to show you. Uh-oh. Apophis prefers good and plenty over Mike and Ike's. There might be a war
Well, we can all find the middle ground with dots.
with
Good old
dots.
dots. I'll tell you, this box of dots has um holy god, a lot of calories for this small box. Wow.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We're not
Because the
gonna be eating
most
that box
delicious
of dots.
things in life will kill us.
Yeah.
Um, Whoa there. I heard a noise. Let's see if I can actually see the noise. See the noise? Corin! Hello! Tier 3 for 12 months in a row. She's got you
Holy
beat.
sh She's got me beat. Holy
Uh,
shit.
Thank you so much, Corin.
I
Um,
subscribe to her channel. It's the best. I
you
like the
should
channel.
follow Corin on Twitch because she's pretty much the
Mm-hmm.
GOAT. Um, so you're seeing some new screenshots and assets for Shades of Horror right now. You probably have noticed we have a new logo, which did just pass, so my timing couldn't be worse on that. Hello, Techno Union. Welcome in. You are
Check the
just in
man.
time. Um, we have a giveaway going for a rail break, exclamation point ticket, and we are about to show a new trailer for Outbreak Shades of Horror. So, I think without further ado, let's show that trailer. Let's see here. Oh, I found
I
it.
worked I worked very hard on that trailer today, guys, so say nice things to me about it, because
Today's stream, I think we're probably going to be going until around 9:30. Would that be
no, yeah. Yeah,
accurate?
sounds about right.
Um,
That gives me 30 minutes to watch West Wing afterwards and get to bed. It sounds
yeah,
good.
yes, we have to watch West Wing, so
I gotta, I
yeah,
got,
we got to
I
keep this
gotta, I
short.
gotta see what the Bartlett administration's up to. Those,
Yeah.
uh, those crazy kids.
All right, guys, here we go. Here comes the trailer in three, two, one, go.
Long before the infection, there was peace, prosperity, and evolution, but now it's hell. The dead are everywhere. The smell of rotting flesh fills the air. Hours of time were spent in the AR, only to be filled with the memories of my staff's scream as they were eaten alive. Rookie mistake, but I survived. They won't. This city is not for the dead, but for the living. I will escape this hell at all costs, and we will wake from this nightmare.
Report suspicious activities.
As mayor, I know that a city is not just brick and mortar, but her citizens. We built this place with our hard work and devotion. Our beautiful city, the result of our hopes and our dreams. Therefore, it is the duty of each and every one of you, anyone who is left, to escape.
All right. Hello, everybody. That was the Outbreak, new Outbreak Shades of Horror trailer. You can see there that we have uh, a new logo.
New key art
And
too.
Yep, new key art. Hello, M. Bobsleigh. Welcome in. We are talking about Outbreak Shades of Horror today, our development roadmap for the game. We do have another giveaway going on. Exclamation point ticket to get entered for that. But yeah, so we have a lot to cover. So let's kind of get going with it here while you guys take a look at some of our new assets. We are also going to be playing an updated build of the game today to take you guys around in the game and also let you ask questions that you may have. This segment is going to be a little bit detail intense, so bear with us here.
Detail intense.
It is detail intense.
You brought a Microsoft PowerPoint to this
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. I brought more than a PowerPoint to this thing.
Oh
So,
God.
let's talk Shades of Horror. So we know that you guys have been waiting for a long time to hear more information about Outbreak Shades of Horror. To start with, Excel. Yeah, no Excel, no Excel.
We're
Thank
gonna
God.
break out Excel. Oh my
God,
God.
let's hope not. So as a lot of you guys know, I'm sure all of you have seen on Twitter and on various gaming news sites, the game industry is going through a bit of a crisis right now. Every day it seems like there's another studio closure or sale or people getting laid off. It's a rough time for a lot of people out there, from the tippity top of AAA development all the way down to people like us who are more in the indie sector. Um, so I'm sure that you've noticed as we've continued to work on Shades of Horror in the background, we have also announced a lot of different releases. We've released stuff like Dino Break. We put out our legacy games on the Epic Game Store. We have Railbreak. We have the upcoming visual novel Outbreak: The Fedora Files, What Lydia Knows. Not an ad. Ad.
Add.
Um, and so these kinds of releases that we've been putting out are pretty much essential for us to kind of continue to exist in this current climate. Things are just ever more expensive and ever more difficult. And so we've been putting these releases out while working on Shades of Horror pretty much so that we can stay existing and create Shades of Horror. And that's kind of what we've meant when we've been saying like, hey, like, if you are interested in any of those releases, when you do grab them, the money kind of goes back into Shades of Horror because we are trying to stay afloat. And yeah, Gearbox was sold today. Sega laid
Yeah.
off a bunch of people.
400. I believe Gearbox is 480 million, I think, which is less than half of what Embracer paid for it 2 years ago.
Yeah,
I think
pretty
is a real life sentence.
pretty not good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
But they didn't give up Remnant. They kept the Remnant IP,
Oh,
so
thank God.
they're gonna be just fine.
Um. But yeah, so over the past several months, we've taken a pretty hard look at Outbreak Shades of Horror. And we've made a bunch of different adjustments to the game and to the development sort of roadmap, so that we're able to, launch at a quality that I think we're happy with. and that our backers will be happy with, and so that we can essentially keep the lights on. Gearbox, they probably are most known for Borderlands at this point.
Yeah.
I think it would probably
But
be the big one.
but but I know them for Aliens: Colonial Marines, the ultimate
Yes,
first-person shooter. I think about that game a lot.
lives in your head rent free.
Rent free. I'm always thinking about the Sulaco and everything.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do also own Duke Nukem. I know there's weird rights stuff with some of the 3D Realms
Yeah.
stuff, so I don't even know anymore. Anyway, so pretty much the question that we've kind of asked ourselves over the past several months is, how do we as a studio survive, number one, and also deliver on Outbreak Shades of Horror as we promised to our backers back when we did the Kickstarter. I believe, what was that, 2022?
Yeah, it was like 20 years ago.
That was like 20 years ago. Yeah,
It was
20
like
years
20
ago
years
in
ago.
internet time.
It
Um,
sounds about right.
and obviously that Kickstarter was a great success, and we were able to do a lot with that Kickstarter. Um, and obviously a lot of that, all of that has been going into Shades of Horror. But as more time passes and as we continue development, it becomes harder and harder. It's kind of wild to think it's been that long.
Yeah.
So we're gonna break down to you guys some of the changes and some of the things that are happening to Outbreak Shades of Horror to hopefully give you guys as complete a picture as possible of where we're headed and how we're headed and how we're doing it. Um, so, first off, the most major change to Outbreak Shades of Horror versus the initial Kickstarter pitch is going to be in its release format. Um, First off, yes, we are going to be releasing the game episodically. We were originally intending to release the whole thing at once by November 2025. For various reasons, especially market conditions, we realized that that's no longer feasible. Um, so there's sort of a good and bad of this. Obviously, you're not going to be getting it all at once, but the flip side is that you're going to be getting access to some of it earlier than you would have otherwise. Um, we do realize that this is different from the initial plan and what our backers expected for the game's release, and for that we do apologize. Obviously, the original intention and goal was to release everything all at once as a final project. Um, but there are a few advantages, I think, to this structure that we think you might appreciate. Um, First off, we can deliver the game at still a high quality threshold. Two, you guys get to play it a little bit earlier, and your feedback and thoughts on it will help shape it. As we continue development. And third, we do want to stress that the game content that we promised is still coming, even if it's not releasing all at once. Essentially, this is a staggered release. Um, so this is how the structure is going to work. Each episode of Outbreak Shades of Horror is going to include one scenario, as well as relevant content to the Operation Rabid Wolf mode, which is, if you are unfamiliar, is kind of like our Mercenaries equivalent mode. So each episode will include those two things. Hello, BX Latino Heat. You were just in time for some
Tino
Shades of
Heat.
Horror.
Thank
Um,
God he's here. I love that man.
so, um, since this isn't the full game, and since this is going to be released, or an initial release, the pricing that we're going with is going to be actually at a lower MSRP for this initial release than we previously announced. Um, so obviously we understand that that is not necessarily the greatest news. So we have actually included some additional stuff to sort of help, sweeten the pot for our generous backers. Um, First off, regardless if you backed on PlayStation or Xbox or whatever, you will be receiving a key for Outbreak Shades of Horror as part of Steam Early Access. The initial release of the game will be Steam Early Access. So that's on top of whatever you did pledge at. Um, Additionally, even though our initial price for the game will be lower than we originally intended for it to be, we're going to be giving backers some pretty awesome bonus content. So, oh, hello, NetJam. Thank you for the
Damn.
sub. 8 months.
That's nice. I'm still gonna beat though. I'm at 11. Tier 3, baby.
But Corn's got you beat at 12.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Corey's is always beating the shit out
Still
of me.
still on the high score, top of the high score list.
Yeah.
Um, so each episode, on top of the Outbreak, the standard scenario, and the Operation Rabid Wolf contents, is also going to include a side campaign, which is known as the Trials of Hank. This is sort of, you get to see what your favorite drunk guy is up to during the events of Shades of Horror. This is a separate playable side campaign. Um, this content, the Trials of Hank, uh, is a timed exclusive for Kickstarter backers for 6 months. So first off, only Kickstarter backers are going to have access to this content for 6 months. After that window has passed, non-backers will be able to purchase it as DLC, but Kickstarter backers will never have to pay extra for this content. So essentially, not if you are not a backer, you may be able to buy Shades of Horror at the entry price with the first scenario, but you will have to pay extra for the Trials of Hank DLC, and you will not be able to play it for 6 months after it is released. Um, so that is something that we are doing for our backers. And again, backers will never have to pay for this content. You will be entitled to the Trials of Hank content. And yes, this is the same Hank from Fedora Files.
What?
Um,
It's actually not though,
well,
because because he's in the bonus mode and that's
yeah,
non-canon.
that's
So
true.
it's
Um,
actually this is another version of Hank.
this is an alternate
But it,
alternate
but but, it,
Hank.
but is it the same Hank from Railbreak? That's the real question.
That's the real question.
Yeah.
Um,
Or was
so
Hank just a computer program in Railbreak?
so we do have a question I'll give to you real quick, Evan. Will the Trials of Hank have co-op, or is it single player only?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, I mean, everything with the game, I've like we originally when we built Shades of Horror, the idea was that everything was co-op. I think with the Trials of Hank, we'll see where that goes. Like, I have some thoughts there on that, and we might just do some Halo shit where like we just throw another Master Chief in there for you or something like that. And I'm going to talk about this when we load the Shades of Horror build, but everything in Shades of Horror is designed to be co-op. Like everything that's implemented gets implemented on the network side immediately. With obviously with the thought behind it being that the entire game is meant to be played, online if you want to.
Yes.
So like the easy answer to that is like literally everything for that mode is already network
Ready,
enabled.
I
Like,
guess. Yeah.
yeah, network ready. So the idea is just do we give Hank like an Ada, like like how in some of the Resident Evil bonus modes, like where you were playing as like Hunk, Ada became his partner and some of the shit. I do wonder if just we get like Lady Hank or something rolling around with him or something.
Lady
Uh,
Hank.
Lady Hank.
Thank you, Jaded, for the sub. 9 months.
The
And we
hell's
have a hype
Jaded?
train. Wow.
Oh,
Thank you,
I
guys.
still got him beat though. I want to know everybody that I've beat right now. 11 months for
God.
me.
Um,
Just keep going after our community.
so again, the Trials of Hank content is no additional cost to Kickstarter backers. It is additional cost to the average person who may just dive into Shades of Horror early.
because
Um,
we because we hate the average person, right? Is that what you're saying?
no comment. Um, so after the first episode's released, you're going to expect to see a new Shades of Horror episode released quarterly, roughly quarterly. Um,
Roughly.
yeah. And we'll
A,
we'll we'll
a
show
baker a,
you.
a baker's quarter. Let's just
Yeah,
call it
we'll
that.
we'll show
A
you
baker.
more of what that looks like with a handy dandy graphic that I've whipped up.
Are you getting out the PowerPoint? Is it PowerPoint time?
No, not yet, not yet. Um,
Oh,
but with each future episode, you get a new scenario, a new entry in the Trials of Hank, and new Operation Rabid Wolf content. Oh, Apophis, thank you for the sub.
this lady.
Um,
I like that people in chat are resonating with Lady Hank.
Now, the thing with um,
Lady
the
Hank.
game with excuse me, the thing with the episodes is that we are not releasing the episodes as like each episode is a DLC. We're actually releasing each episode as a content update for Shades of Horror. And what will happen when a new episode is released is that the MSRP of Shades of Horror will go up. So if
Yeah.
someone is to, if someone who is not a Kickstarter backer buys Shades of Horror, at episode 3, they're going to be paying it more than if they bought it at episode 1. And they're still not going to be accessing the Trials of Hank content because that content is paid DLC. So we do think that for our Kickstarter backers that we are able to provide a compelling value and honor your guys' support for the game. Um, basically, this is going to happen until we are at our final episode, which will have the final scenario, the final, contents of the game, and then that episode, once that episode is released, the game will be at its final MSRP, and it'll be as if it all released at once. Um, so there's that. The Trials of Hank content will continue to be DLC. Next,
Next.
we do have some updates on some of the features that we promised during the Kickstarter campaign. We have been obviously developing the game for quite a while now. So we wanted to give you an update on some things that we've had to adjust and tweak along the way. First off, we did
God.
have the orchestrated soundtrack as part of our campaign. Um, Unfortunately, at this stage, we are unable to deliver on an orchestrated soundtrack for the game. The game will still have fantastic music, but we did have to downsize a bit on our original vision for the soundtrack. It's just no longer something that is feasible to us, so we do apologize for that. But we will still have a wonderful soundtrack for you guys. Second, uh, another feature that has had a little bit of tweaking is the multiplayer. We do still have robust single player. We still have the online co-op multiplayer. Right now, however, it looks like local split screen co-op multiplayer isn't something that we're going to necessarily be able to support at this time. I don't want to say never, but at this point, we have to focus on single player and online multiplayer. I know that will be disappointing to some of you, and we do apologize for that if that is a feature that you were really excited for. We think that most of our users will likely be playing this game either single player or with multiplayer over the internet. So we're hoping that it's just one of those scope decisions that we need to make in order to again make this game the best it can be considering everything that is going on. Um, the third thing is the zombie transformation feature. We are still doing that. It is a little bit tweaked. So the zombie class that your survival will transform into will now be determined by the character's class. Um, and your character will now only transform once you hit that 100% infection rate. So as such, the survivors no longer gradually mutate into zombies dynamically over time, but they do have a zombie form that they will take once their infection meter has hit 100%. That has all of those sorts of cool gameplay um, options and possibilities. Like you can go after your friends if you turn infected and all of that. That is still a thing. We're giving that feature a lot of care because it's something that's very majorly important to us, and I think towards the original pitch of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're doing right now is we are developing that as the game is being built. Um, However, with the time that we want to spend developing that feature, it is not going to be something that's ready for the initial release of the game, like our episodic release of the game. So right now, what's going to be happening is placeholder essentially is that before the full release of Shades of Horror, when you reach 100% infection rate, for now it will resolve in death. But once that transformation feature is completed, which will be its own sort of special patch and launch, not only will you be able to do the infection feature as we planned it, but you'll also be able to toggle between it and simply dying at 100% infection rate. So it's kind of a little bonus mode has been sort of born out of this. So it'll give the game a little bit of a different flavor if you want to play it in a classic way where you don't transform into a zombie, you can do that. Or you can take advantage of the new zombie transformations and go crazy with those. So it's going to be something that we leave up to you in terms of the option for that. So um, that will be really fun. We're very excited about that. Um, in regards to physical rewards, Limited Run Games is still going to be fulfilling physical copies of the game, as well as the collector's editions, the t-shirts, the bundles. All of those rewards are still slated to be shipped by November 2025, which was the original timeline that we gave on Kickstarter for the development of the game and the release of the physical rewards. Um, and also, in regards to those of you who backed at a level where you are going to be getting your own survivors, and especially for those of you who have backed where you're getting your own side stories in the game, that is going to be something that we start reaching out to you about very soon to get that content implemented into the game. Um, so definitely stay tuned on that. I don't have an exact time frame for that yet, but that is something that's coming in the near future. We'll probably reach out to you in the form of an additional survey or some sort of context that we can begin to construct your characters and storylines as you pledged for, so that they can be included in Shades of Horror. Um, let's talk about release timing. And this is where I will put up my fancy graphic showing the roadmap if I can
It's
find the button.
PowerPoint time.
It's,
Finally.
I don't know about PowerPoint time, but it is an image. So
It is an image.
it is an image. Where is? Hang on a moment. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find where I live. That's not it.
Seema, just to let you know, I do have the stream going in my window here. I think
Yep.
our chat box is broken on the stream because I don't
It
see this chat from
looks
chat.
like it might be. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know
just a
why
heads up.
that is. I'll take a look at that. Um,
It is an image.
all right. Let me click on the button. Okay. So this is our general roadmap image, kind of laying out how the game will release. So our first release is going to be this summer, 2024, via Steam Early Access. That is going to be the first episode. It includes the tutorial scenario as well as scenario 1. It includes the first part of the Trials of Hank, which again is a Kickstarter 6-month exclusive, and it does not. It is paid content for non-Kickstarter backers. It will also include Operation Rabid Wolf, which is our mercenary mode. It will include the first few maps of that game mode. So you kind of have like a 3 tiers of content there. And it will include some more stuff. One thing that we are able to talk about today is that the initial release of the game will include 6 playable survivors. Obviously, we're going to be adding more over time. But the initial slate of playable characters or playable survivors is going to be Lydia, Miranda, Michiko, Tucker, David, and Jacqueline. So we are excited for you guys to get your hands on that content earlier than anticipated, and your feedback and thoughts will obviously help shape the development of the game. You can see on screen right now that we do have tentative release timings for each of the following episodes, which again are roughly quarterly. So episode 2 will be before the end of this year. Episode 3 looks like it'll be in springtime of next year. Episode 4 will be in probably summer of 2025. And then the last episode will be by November 2025, as originally promised, for the completion of the game, so that you do have all of the content that we planned at the time of the original release. I see we have a couple of questions, so I'm going to get those answered real quick. NetJam asks, if we want to play a scenario with a friend, will we have to launch a different game on Steam for each scenario, or will later ones get added to the same client? So what's great is that the scenarios, as episodes are released, the episodes are handled as content updates rather than DLC. So it'll all be the same client. If someone owns Shades of Horror, they will have access to all the content going forward from there. So you will be able to go into the same game. You won't have to be like you won't. There won't be a separate like Shades of Horror episode 2 or Shades of Horror episode 4. The one thing that your friend may not play if they were not a, or sorry, may not have if they were not a Kickstarter backer is the Trials of Hank content, which again is 6 months exclusive to Kickstarter and is also paid DLC for non-backers. Um, but the standard scenario and the Operation Rabid Wolf, as well as other content, will be available to whoever buys um, Shades of Horror at any stage. And when you buy Shades of Horror, you are going to be getting the future content that we have for the game in this roadmap as a free content update. So that's thankfully very simple. This next question I'll give to Evan. Techno Union asks, question, I understand Steam Early Access. What about console backers?
Yeah, so for people who have backed the console in the end, at November 2025, you will be getting it for the console that you backed at. Obviously, we're still going to ship on Xbox next. Well, it's not next gen anymore. We live in the present.
Yes.
But Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, those folks will, get those. We'll have that by November 2025. For the initial release this summer, it's going to be Steam. For 2024, I'm probably going to err on the side of saying probably Steam. And then the idea would be that if I can begin to move it out to one of the consoles, we'll try to prior to November of 2025, but I don't want to make any promises there. The key thing is that we start getting people playing the game and we start iterating on the content and getting the content out. So we'll do
Yeah.
our best, but it's Steam right now. Steam Early Access is going to be where this starts.
And again, if you have backed console,
Hmm.
um, you are still going to also be getting a code for the Steam Early Access version of the game.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know this isn't the most ideal scenario, but you will still be getting that as well, so that you can play or access that content early as we go through, and then once we get to the time where we promised the console versions to be available, they will still be available at that time as promised. So essentially, you can kind of check it out on Steam and give us your feedback and check out, early parts of the game as we're making them. And then you'll also still get your um, the codes for the platforms you backed for and the physical copies. Obviously, if you pledge for the physical copy of Outbreak Shades of Horror for PS5 that we're doing with limited run games, you will still be getting that. So the Steam Early Access code and entitlement, including the Trials of Hank DLC, is something that everyone who backed at a level where they would get a copy of the game will be getting on top of that. So that's sort of like our sort of a small gift to you to be like, hey, like we know that this isn't the original plan, but we're gonna give you access to this as it's being developed still on PC through Steam Early Access, so that you do have a way of playing the content as we come out with it before the final version of the game. So um, we hope that people will enjoy checking out that content. We're excited in the sense that we get to bring some of that content to you guys earlier than expected. Um, and we're also able to give you some extra content as Kickstarter backers, um, so that even though we are now releasing in an episodic format, um, and going in at a smaller, or sorry, at a lower initial MSRP, um, that your guys' feedback and playing the game will help us make the proper adjustments and make this game as good as it can be. Um, so we are very excited about that. Um, I think in regards to the development roadmap, I believe that is everything we have for today. Um, so, of course, if you guys have questions, you can feel free to hit us up anywhere, including right now. Um, we are going
Also,
to,
we're about to play the
we
game,
are
so
about to play the game, so that you can also continue to ask us questions while we're doing that. Um, so,
why don't you roll the trailer, CMM,
yeah.
and then we can jump into it.
Oh yeah, Apophis. So pretty much the initial release of Shades of Horror will be the first episode in summer of 2024. That release will be through Steam Early Access. Um, Everyone who's backed on a level where they would like to have it, or where they they say you wanted it on PS5 and you backed at the PS5 level, you will also be getting a code for the Steam Early Access version so that you can play the game as it's in development. We are not entirely sure on the timeline for when the console releases will begin, just due to how the game works. But you will be still receiving those console versions by the original promised time of November 2025. And you'll have the Steam Early Access code in the meantime, essentially. Also, I believe, although we don't have an exact window right now, people who did pledge for early access to the game, or alpha builds of the game, we will be making the episodic releases available to those people earlier than everyone else. Again, we don't have an exact window for when that will be. The release timing that you see here on screen right now is for the public release of these episodes. So episode 1 is summer 2024, so sometime before the initial release of that episode, you can expect that if you backed on a level where you are playing alpha or beta builds, that you will have access to that content earlier than anyone else. So that is still something that is in effect. Also, for anyone who maybe have walked in late or has gone crazy because of all the details that we've shared today, there is going to be a detailed post going over this on Kickstarter tomorrow. The that'll kind of fully lay it out and explain it pretty similarly to how I have, and so you can just have something to read instead of having to juggle all this info in your head. It'll also have the content roadmap image, the new key art. We'll also have the new trailer available for people to see after the stream is over that we showed. We're going to show it again too real quick. Keep in mind that for the Steam Early Access stuff on PC, we do have a lot of adjustable graphical settings. So if you're concerned about the game running on your PC, we do thankfully have a lot of options that can help scale it down to run it, and so that you can
I'll show
enjoy
this
it.
to everybody. We'll go through them quick when we're playing.
Yeah, we'll actually go through some of those options when we launch today's build. So if that is a concern, definitely we are cognizant of that, and that is something that we are focused on making as accessible to as many people as possible.
All I gotta say is all these AAA devs seem to say that it's really hard to make a performant Unreal Engine 5 game, and I don't have that problem. So
Yeah, to give you an idea, Techno Union,
just saying.
I don't know what your PC specifications are specifically, but in terms of running the game, I have a very old gaming laptop from about 2017, and it is able to run the game at decent settings.
Quad AAA dev.
So we are hopeful that many people will be able to enjoy that. Of course, if there are technical difficulties or any sort of issues with that, we can try and work with you and figure out how to get the game best running on your rig. Obviously, Kickstarter backers are extremely important to us. We appreciate their support and patience, and so anything that we can do to make Shades of Horror a good experience for you will be something that we are striving to do. So rest assured, we will definitely be keeping an eye out on that situation. Before
a strong term, they're fine.
So before we get into the gameplay build, we're gonna roll the trailer that we played at the beginning of the stream again real quick. Then we're gonna dive into the Shades of Horror gameplay build that we have for you today, and we'll be taking more questions. So we will be jumping to that in just a second. So get ready for that trailer, if I can find it. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Long before the infection, there was peace, prosperity, and evolution, but now it's hell. The dead are everywhere. The smell of rotting flesh fills the air. Hours of time were spent in the AR, only to be filled with the memories of my staff's scream as they were eaten alive. Rookie mistake, but I survived. They won't though. This city is not for the dead, but for the living. I will escape this hell at all costs, and we will wake from this nightmare.
Report suspicious activities.
As mayor, I know that a city is not just brick and mortar, but her citizens. We built this place with our hard work and devotion. Our beautiful city, the result of our hopes and our dreams. Therefore, it is the duty of each and every one of you, anyone who is left, to escape.
All right, everyone. Hello. This is Outbreak Shades of Horror. We hope you
Hello.
enjoyed that trailer. If you hadn't seen it already, Techno Union. In regards to your character, yes, that is all still happening.
Yep.
We want to stress that anyone who backed the game and wanted to include, or at a level where they include their own playable survivor or storyline, that is still absolutely going forward as planned. That's something that's very important to us and important to you guys. So there's no way that we're not doing that. Obviously, we had some good and bad news with the development roadmap today in terms of feature tweaks and changes to the release plan. That obviously in an ideal scenario wouldn't be happening, but we are very focused on making sure that this game comes out at a high quality level, and that all of our backers are satisfied with the game, and that we can continue to update and polish the game further. I know there are some concerns about minimum requirements on PC. We're definitely very sensitive to that. We will show you some of the options that you have. That being said, I think as Evan said earlier, although we don't have an exact timeline on it, we are hoping to have a version of Shades of Horror available on at least one console before the end of the calendar year. Again, that is not an exact timeline, and it may not happen that exact way, but that is not something that we are ignoring. We do realize that not everyone necessarily has the PC hardware to run the game, and we do want it available as early on as many platforms as possible so that people, that backers are able to enjoy the content that we have prepared for them.
I will note that we had a plan for this though,
Mhm.
but with this thing called Stadia.
Yeah.
There was a workaround to this issue that was planned 2 years ago, and I don't know whatever happened to that platform. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to that one either. Some say it was lost to time.
Yeah.
Um, Evan. Oh, where does Fedora Files fit into the roadmap? So Fedora Files is going to be something that we release before the first episode of Shades of Horror. I think we can pretty confidently say that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I know the release date for Fedora Files. I'm not
yeah,
telling anybody. I
yeah,
know it
we aren't
it
talking
is
about it quite
what it
yet,
is.
but
Yeah.
yes, it will be well in advance of episode one of Shades of Horror. And again, Fedora Files is a prequel to Outbreak Shades of Horror. You do not need to play the game to be able to appreciate and enjoy the story of Outbreak Shades of Horror, but you will definitely get more out of it if you do play through the visual novel. But the
It's
game,
kind of like Yeah, it's kind of like Railbreak in that way. That Railbreak obviously takes place during Shades of Horror, but you don't need to play it to play Shades of Horror.
yeah, exactly.
You know.
So Evan, we're gonna take a look at some stuff in the Shades of Horror build. Should I be having audio for the Shades of Horror build right now?
Yeah, I think you should be. Well, I mean, it's low though. Is the thing? Because
Oh,
I
okay.
remember I turned the volume. Like, do you hear the clickies?
Yes.
Are you hearing the dings?
Yeah.
Okay,
Let
so
me
you're
just
about.
turn it up a little bit on my end. I think I had it too low.
Yeah, I had turned it down because it was at blast
Is
level, and
that Blaster Master volume?
we, we were Yeah, Blaster Master Volume, and it was not Blaster Master Zero, I'll tell you.
It was not Blaster Master Zero. It was more like Blaster Master 1000% ear destruction.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, just the common disclaimer. I think CMM has the text on the screen too, somewhere saying that this is obviously an unfinished product. This is not what's
Yes.
shipping. Everything is subject to change. Everything is incomplete. Again, because I take this a little bit for granted sometimes, but I've had some sobering moments in the last year with folks in this. Guys, things like menus and stuff are some of the last stuff that usually happens before things ship. So don't be you're going to see some menus here that are clearly unfinished. They're clearly unfinished. I mean, the menus in Railbreak didn't happen until like a month before release. So, and those menus are great. So I do just want to say that again, it's this is still pre-alpha. I mean, this is still unfinished. This is still subject to change. We're missing production animations. We're missing, obviously the enemies. You're going to be experiencing the full game. We're just seeing standard zombies. But what we want to do is take a quick walk around Shades of Horror because we haven't really streamed it in a while. And I think we picked up a lot of folks in the Dino Break and Rail Break launches. And I don't think that folks probably really know what this game is unless you were a Kickstarter backer. And what I want to do is be able to explain the difference between something like Rail Break, which in some way, I mean, is in this world and will look similar in some ways, but it plays nothing like this game. And really, what is Shades of Horror at the end of the day? So that's why we kind of want to just take some time to go through this at length, just because a lot of new folks are with us now. So,
Yep.
um,
Real quick before Evan starts, just a quick reminder:
yeah.
we do still have that giveaway running for a copy of Railbreak. If you type !ticket in chat, you will be entered to win that. We're going to be probably rolling that in about 20 minutes.
Yeah. Also, just a reminder, Mike and Ike still has not paid me any money. So,
Uh, Such is
that's
the
like
world.
So few quick things. I mean, obviously CMM talked about it, but let's just talk about what is Outbreak Shades of Horror. It is a spiritual successor to games like Resident Evil Outbreak. It takes place in the opening hours of Undead Apocalypse, literally the opening hours of it. The idea is that you're in this town called Cypress Ridge, which has now actually existed in prior titles we've released, so people are getting familiar with it. Zarina is the mayor, of course, as seen in our trailer. And she's the only competent government official in the town in terms of our game's canon. Everybody else is failing spectacularly. She's fabulous. I just want to continue to reiterate to Zarina, if she's watching this, that I have done none of the writing for these games. So this anti-Zarina sentiment from Lydia and Hank is none of my doing, and I would absolutely vote for Zarina every day. So it's a spiritual successor to Resident Evil Outbreak. The reason why we're making this game is because basically Capcom refuses to do games like that anymore. It's great that we've got the Resident Evil remakes. They're fantastic. Well, Resident Evil remakes 1, 2, and 4 are fantastic. 3 is a horrific fever dream that was awful, and it was so awful that if folks remember, that team was actually supposed to be doing the Resident Evil 4 remake, and they got fucking thrown off of it after the spectacularness of Resident Evil 3's remake, which thank God they did, because Resident Evil 4 was actually pretty good. The remake was good. But the idea is you're in the opening hours of Undead Epidemic. There's a wide cast of characters. They all have different abilities. They all have different proficiencies. And the idea is that it's more of a traditional survival horror adventure, whereas Railbreak is a non-stop pew 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 game with very very little like resource management and something like that. This is a game with puzzles. This is a game with an active inventory, where you have to manage your supplies, where you have to fight off, where you're trying to get around zombies. You can still fight them off. Obviously, there's guns and things like that and melee weapons, but the idea, unlike Railbreak, is in this one you're not killing everything you find because you're somewhat resource constrained. We're not going to get as crazy as Contagious Memories resource constrained because I think we took things a little too far there. But it's going to be more resource management than something like Railbreak, which was just pew 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 nonstop. The game is built on Unreal Engine 5, as with all of our products now. We do not use Unity anymore because Unity is a fucking flaming tire wreck of an engine. We only shipped Dino Break on Unity because it was in development for 2 years before we shipped it, and it would have been impossible to switch it over. But there will be no more Unity games from us. This is Unreal Engine 5. All of our stuff's Unreal Engine 5. This build is on Unreal Engine 5.3, so we are taking advantage of all the latest like DLSS 3.5 and all that other good stuff. I will note though that I'm on our streaming rig. This is not the dev rig; it's the streaming rig, which is a very mid-range AMD machine. That's very intentional that we're streaming this game on mid-range hardware because, to T Union's point, there are folks who have not 4090s, and I want to make it very clear that although some of your favorite AAA devs seem to have trouble shipping performant games on Unreal Engine 5, I am not one of those people. So we're not afraid to play this on a machine that is now 4 years old that's sitting next to me. And with that, let's jump in.
Outbreak.
I found a way to insult a lot of people in that monologue, which I'm really fucking happy about. I'm really here to hurt people at the end of the day.
Hi, Nora.
So again, hi Nora.
We are doing a giveaway exclamation point ticket for a copy of Railbreak, and yes, we are showing some Shades of Horror off right now.
Yeah. So again, I cannot reiterate this enough. Pre-alpha menus are not final. What you're looking here is this is a development build, so the menus are for my convenience, not for looking beautiful. But in Shades of Horror, there's a wide cast of survivors. This is not the full list, obviously. This is just what we have implemented, and well, not even fully implemented right now. This is just for development needs right now. You could be awesome characters like, obviously, the fantastic Falco Jr., who is just God's gift to beauty. You can be Zarina, who is actually God's gift to beauty, unlike Falco, the horrific vision of hair. But you can be awesome people like Zarina, who's super keen and super cool. And you'll notice that a lot of the Railbreak cast is here, and a lot of new faces are here as well. And you'll be meeting plenty of new playable characters and new faces in Shades of Horror as we release it. Like our DJ, Ileana, who is her backstory and naming is being done by our awesome backer, whose name I can never pronounce, Manulidon? But they are fantastic, and we thank them for their support, and they have the DJ. We obviously have Guy Laflemme and Gal Laflemme, who are the firefighters of the game. So we thought the names were very clever. And for Resident Evil fans, this is obviously a playoff of Hunk, where Hunk had a female variant, since they're typically going to be wearing firefighter gear in the game. Similar to how Hunk was always in Spec Ops gear and stuff, and you could never really see him. Awesome folks like David, who's back. Oh, David is the doctor character, who was voiced. You actually play as David in the Shades of Horror playable teaser that we released in 2022, and he was voiced by the incredibly sexual and incredibly awesome Jeremy Campbell, whose voice you heard in our latest trailer, narrating the beginning of it, with that smooth voice. And of course, other new characters like Falco Senior, who is Falco Junior's father. So,
Hi, Okabe. That woke me up. It looks like we're gonna have an ad starting soon, so just let me know real quick.
Oh, so we're about to have subscriber only content. I got my Mike and Ike's ready.
Yeah, we got it's almost time for some subscriber only content.
Is it like seconds away or minutes?
It's
away?
happening now, in fact.
Okay. All right. So tell me when it's live.
It seems that we are in ad time.
Okay, so subscriber-only content. So I'm down to my last two Mike and Ike's of this box that I've been eating for close to 3 months now. The box has been open the entire time.
Oh,
no. I'm down to orange and yellow flavor. I'm gonna review yellow. It's very tart. The taste, the taste I would say is it tastes like Mountain Dew, but you added a little bit of sugar to the Mountain Dew.
I want you to know that while you've been reviewing this, they've been playing the Titanic flute.
probably a good idea. And now orange. Well, orange is a flavor choice. That's where I'm gonna leave that. Good God, that was awful.
NetJam also asks,
Bruh.
is Corin still glitch themed in Shades of Horror?
No, she's it's real life Corin in this one.
It's not Super Corin. Super Cyberspace Corin.
It's actually using her old model. It's not using the Railbreak model, so it's still her old model here. So luckily we're on subscriber, so the public can't see this, but it's still using her old model. We have the much better Corinne model that will be in the game shortly. I just got to get around to importing it.
And just like that, it looks like our ad break may be over. So
Oh, that was some awesome subscriber-only content that we just did right
yeah,
there.
no, real wild stuff.
And that's why you've got to subscribe, because you don't want to miss what happens during the ad breaks, because things get wild. They get just absolutely wild. So back to talking about how sexually awesome Jeremy Campbell is. David is he voiced David in the playable teaser and did an amazing job. I love the playable teaser. We actually, CMM, to my point earlier, I made an excellent point earlier that a lot of folks have not actually seen a recent Shades of Horror build. We probably actually should go back on a stream and play the teaser again at some point and show people where the kind of like the target render, not gameplay target, but the actual graphics target render was, and that was in Unity too, so we can really beat on Unity.
Yeah, you can definitely. There's definitely a certain evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It was crazy when that orange Mike and I came to life and ran away. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
pretty nuts.
That was I'm kind of glad it left though after eating it, because the flavor was not great. But hey, what this means, because the Mike and Ike box is empty, it means the next time we open up candy, it'll be Dots. So get excited. Dots are actually...
the candy sequel of our dreams.
So yeah, so this is what's in the current dev build, but obviously a lot of these folks aren't fully implemented, which is why we're not releasing 15 characters in July, and I still have a lot more that are not selectable here that I have semi-implemented. So you'll be seeing the cast grow. I think the cast is near 30 at this point, is where we're at, yeah, this game's gonna have a lot of characters, which is super cool. But again, UI is not final. We're just showing this to talk about survivors and stuff. So I will let chat pick, though. Who should I play as?
Chat, you can decide who gets to be played. Apparently, Sound Alerts has had enough of us, because now when people are playing Sound Alerts, it's just not working. So that's cool.
That's awesome. As long as we still get the money, that's all that matters.
Well, it's not. It doesn't cost any. Well, it doesn't cost real money.
Damn.
I got one vote for Falco Senior.
Falco Senior, yeah, he's an awesome character. I'm kind of the mindset to do Falco Senior because he looks freaking cool.
I got a vote for Zarina.
Yeah, Lady Z's the best. She's still got her Desert Eagle in this build, and she will have the Desert Eagle in her final build. But that's the Desert Eagle is a Zarina weapon.
Let me see if I can hang on 1 second, guys. Let me see. I got a Michiko vote. I got a Zarina vote. Hang on. Let me see if I can refresh this scene and maybe make the sound alerts work. Where is my brain? Here we go. Hopefully that may solve that issue. We'll see.
It seems nice.
Elena.
He's got a nice smell.
Got a vote for Elena.
Oh. Yeah, the DJ. Baller.
I've seen 2 votes for Zarina so far and 1 vote for
Ooh, Lady
everyone
Z's
else.
winning!
So I think it's looking like it's gonna be Zarina.
Desert Eagle. Awesome.
Yeah, we can start with Zarina. We haven't seen Elena before. NetJam says we haven't seen Elena before.
I do not think we've ever actually played as Elena.
So we can do Elena.
All right. Is that what you guys want?
They're very indecisive. So let's start with Elena, and we can change later if people want to see other stuff.
All right.
I know you wanted to take a look at settings too, real quick.
Yeah.
I've
lost wherever my mouse or wherever my thing. Probably the pointer isn't getting set when I leave that menu properly. Blah 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 blah. Yep. So as you can see, there's UI. There's even the UI is not hooked up properly. So yeah, really quick. We won't belabor the point here, but just to be very clear to folks, if you've played Railbreak, you've seen that we offer a lot of settings. Shades of Horror is no different for folks. We do offer DLSS 3.5 with frame generation. So if you are on a 4090 or not a 4090, a 4000 level NVIDIA card, it is there. If you're on a 3000 level NVIDIA card, you also have support for DLSS 3, which is awesome. For our good buddies on AMD, yes, Railbreak, we had to drop this due to compatibility issues. I will have it in Shades of Horror, though, is AMD FSR 2. And I will try to get AMD FSR 3 implemented if I have some time for the first build. But again, if I don't get it, implemented, I just want to remind you that you've made a terrible decision being an AMD customer, and bad things are going to happen to you. Because my God, AMD FSR 2 is ugly as sin. But I will try to have FSR 3 there because I'm sure they couldn't do worse than FSR 2 with that. Reflections, obviously, we're still going to have Lumen RT, but you still have screen space reflections. You still have probes if you want to. But if you are rocking a high-end graphics card, you can rock the Lumen RT. And because I'm just living dangerously, I would like to remind everybody I'm on a 4-year-old AMD rig right here. I'm going to be playing with Lumen RT on because it runs pretty good. Because I'm good at game development.
Well, that's a relief.
Screen percent. Yes, yeah. Screen percentage obviously is what it sounds like. Is you can basically lower the back end rendering target, or obviously affect the back end DLSS or FSR upscaling target to get performance back. I have it set to 50% because I'm on my crappy AMD computer. Because again, as an AMD customer, I've made terrible decisions and I need to pay for them. If you do not have FSR on or you do not have the DLSS on, we do fall back to Unreal Engine's TSR. So there is a solution for everybody for screen scaling. And I will say the Unreal Engine TSR solution is very performant and very good. It looks nice. And then obviously full controls for reflection, shadow, texture, effects, shading, all the usual stuff, draw distance, quality. We will continue to allow people to turn on and off Lumen. If you're on an older machine, turning off Lumen can get you serious frame rate improvements. If you're on like a 4-year-old machine with a limited graphics card, either turn off shadows or set them to low, turn off Lumen, watch that frame rate soar, even on old hardware. And then motion blur obviously is there, and you can turn that off. So I do just want folks to know that when this is out on Steam in the summer, you will have all these options and more to go after it. Game settings, we will. For folks who played Railbreak, you will notice there was not an FOV slider in Railbreak. That is because Railbreak is set to the exact FOV for the game to look correctly. And if it changes at all, you're fucked. So as we learned from the person who tried the hack VR mod for Railbreak and could see that their feet weren't moving. In Shades of Horror, you will have an FOV slider. It does affect third-person and first-person mode. Shades of Horror is fully playable in third and first person. We're going to be playing in third person, but I will show you first-person mode a little bit because it is different than Railbreak. We will support the laser sight. You can have your aiming style be a laser sight like Resident Evil, or you can have the crosshair. I'm playing as crosshair just because it's better for me for demo purposes. And then audio, of course, will have all the typical stuff for voice and stuff. It's not implemented here, but similar to what we did in Railbreak. So lots of options. There will be key bindings. I'm not going to press the key binding button because I cannot remember if it crashes this build or not. So we're just going to avoid the key binding button right now.
Right.
And to everybody's point again, as I said, co-op. The entire game is built with online co-op from ground up. So even in this build, I did actually toy with the idea of asking CMM, "Do you want to do co-op tonight?" And then he reminded me that he has to run the stream and his computer would light on fire. So
yeah.
But I will just, again, co-op is fully supported, up to 4 players, it is here, and we theoretically could be playing it right now, and maybe on a future stream we'll load it up and find some folks to do co-op, and certainly once this is out in early access, we will be doing co-op with the community on streams, because it'll be just a lot of fun to do.
Yep.
So yeah, so let's jump in and let's talk about how Shades of Horror is different from something like Railbreak. And let's watch the level not load and just crash.
Game development is a blast, everybody.
Boy, where have I seen this map before? I'll
Yeah,
tell you.
I don't know. Never seen it in
Okay,
my
so
life.
as we said, Shades of Horror is very much it's a spiritual successor of Resident Evil Outbreak. And if you've ever played a Resident Evil game or a Silent Hill game or a survival horror game, you'll notice here how already radically different, even though the scenario looks similarly to a part of Railbreak, everything is different. I'm in third person, playing kind of in the style of the Resident Evil Remake style camera view here. You can move around. I have even the aiming set to kind of feel like Resident Evil 4 Remake right now with this stuff. Crosshairs in the middle. Some different stuff from Railbreak. You have a compass up top, obviously, because navigation is more important here. Waypoints will eventually be on your compass and everything, too. I have free movement. Obviously, where Railbreak was on rails, I have free movement to move around the environment as I see fit and do whatever I'd like. We're going to be playing a lot in third-person view, but I will note you can switch to first-person view at any time. and it's fully implemented in the game. So if you would prefer to play this game as a first-person shooter, I got you covered. So do not worry. But for the demo, we're going to be in third person for this.
If you'd like to play as a second-person hallucination, though, we do not have you covered.
Well, actually, we do have you covered because photo mode would typically would technically qualify as a second-person view.
True.
So I'm gonna live dangerous here. I'm gonna turn on photo mode quick, and we can see
God.
second-person view. Let's see if the game crashes. Yo, shit, that's bad. All right, hold on. Oh God.
This game is a work in progress and is not representative of the final product.
It super ain't. Also, the self-destruct sequence has been activated. You need to evacuate immediately.
Time bomb set. Get out fast.
Time bomb set. But for your second-person needs, obviously Shades of Horror will fully support a photo mode. So that was obviously something not in Railbreak, but I got second-person covered CMM.
Yeah, but not a hallucination. So
No.
I'll give you partial credit. Hi, Sarge.
Hey, Sarge.
Our giveaway is going on. Exclamation point ticket to get in there. We'll be drawing that in a few minutes, so definitely get in there if you'd like to get in there. It is for a copy of Railbreak. My brain slipped for a moment as to what we were even giving away.
Alrighty. So let's talk about gameplay mechanical differences, because this is not a pew-pew-pew game like Railbreak. As you can see, obviously, ammo is going to be a little more scarce. I only have 25 bullets. In Shades of Horror, the way that it's set up is you have a primary weapon, you have a secondary weapon, you have a melee weapon, and then you can have a throwable, like a grenade or something like that. And those are your 4 types of equipment. You'll always have your trusty knife. For folks who play the Resident Evil remakes, I have included the most important feature in Shades of Horror, that you can knife corpses and keep dismembering them and spraying blood everywhere when they're on the ground. So don't worry, I got you covered on that one.
Amen.
Amen, yeah. A real American game. Since resource management is a big thing in the game, you have an inventory. Thank you, Mouse, for that up. If you've played our prior games like Dino Breaker, Contagious Memories, your friendly inventory comes back in this game. Different characters have different sized inventories, just like in games like Resident Evil Outbreak. And most of the stuff that you have quick keys for, like switching between weapons and stuff, you can also do a lot of these actions in your inventory, like equipping and using weapons and things like that, directly through. And as you highlight stuff in your inventory, you will get a useful description. You can see your health gauge, your infection meters down there. You can see your character name, ammo, obviously, and the bottom middle is a description of whatever you're looking at, essentially right there. Your inventory is always accessible.
You can indeed knife in the butt if you so choose.
Yes, we will be doing some butt knifing. Do not worry, that is a part of the stream, and we will do knife butting or butt knifing. So you can kind of see here, there's a lot of different weapons. There's a lot of different sidearms and main weapons and things like that. There will be different melee weapons and things. But this is, like if you're looking for how is this different from Railbreak, I mean, this alone is a major difference. And as you navigate the environment, you will find supplies. You will need to share with your friends. If you take everything, you'll fill up your inventory and potentially deprive others of useful items. But like, let's see here. We've got our green sprout and a blue sprout that I just picked up. And you'll see them appear in your inventory, and for each of them you get a description. There is crafting in Shades of Horror. We will show a little bit of crafting in a little bit as we pick up more things. One of the design decisions that I will get asked about is, can you quick reload through the inventory? And the answer is a resounding no. We've stopped allowing quick reloading in our games through the inventory because we found that it's more interesting from a gameplay perspective to force you to take those kind of actions live out in the real world and not being able to just run away to a menu to do them. But you still can craft and combine and use items from your inventory. You can even switch weapons from your inventory if you really want to be inefficient. So
we will allow you to be inefficient.
That's right. New things that are different from Railbreak: you can jump, hooray! You can crouch, hooray!
Hooray!
And they all have gameplay mechanics associated with them. Crouching obviously makes you a little more sneaky, and you can crouch under barriers and things like that to get through them. Your movement is also very fast. You can run. Running is awesome. And you can power slide.
Yay, power
Because sometimes you
sliding.
gotta, because sometimes you gotta power slide in the apocalypse. So
True.
if you've played our prior titles like Contagious Memories and Dino Break, they were very rigid from a movement perspective. Our goal with like Contagious Memories and Dino Break were very much meant to feel like a PlayStation 1 game made today. The design philosophy behind Shades of Horror is like, let's make a PlayStation 2 game today. So graphics are better, movement is more modern, but we still retain all of the classic survival horror mechanics that made those games compelling. Resource management, dropping items, you can take your ammo and discard if you want to, and boom, it's on the ground to share with your friend. And obviously there will be NPCs, and voice acting and all that other great stuff. Another big thing with survival horror games is lore. There are notes in Shades of Horror that you will be able to pick up and read. And as with our prior titles, once you pick up a note, you will have access to a journal, your dream journal, if you want.
Your dream journal. Is this
you can
Nightmare
go
on
back
Elm
and-
Street?
It's Nightmare on Elm Street, and you go back and read all of your notes. So don't worry. And maybe in some versions we'll let you draw pictures in your dream journal to just make it uniquely to yours. But that'll be like a $100 DLC pack or something. So yeah, so reading notes is going to be important for lore, but they're also important for solving puzzles. That's right.
Ooh.
All of your favorite survival horror puzzles come back in Shades of Horror. Entering numbers to open up combo locks, reading notes to find the numbers that you need to enter in the combo locks, keyboards from computers and stuff like that. And that will be obviously a pretty significant part of the game, is solving puzzles with your friends and looking for handy pop-ups here to tell you what's going on. Environment traversal, you saw some of it in Railbreak. Vaulting is in the game. Climbing ladders is also in the game as well, as you'd expect. We have a very, we want Shades of Horror to be, whereas obviously Railbreak was on rails, there was one way to go through the game. It's blast your way through. Shades of Horror is meant to give you multiple ways to kind of go through an area. In our kind of our vertical slice level here, you can jump down to the streets and fight it out with the zombies if you want to. But like, let's say that you're not an idiot and you don't want to get eaten.
But Evan, I am not an idiot. I don't want to get eaten.
Well, there you go. So you could climb around the environment here and kind of dodge and maybe find things like barrels you could push down to use against the undead, and things like that. So physics interactions, finding different ways through your environment, they're very big parts of the game. And if we had some customers drop over there, boom! You can maybe use this system to find explosive barrels and things and take out zombies and stuff, because in general, fighting zombies is not going to be you're not going to be just like Railbreak where you're mowing everything down. The idea is that there's going to be too many enemies to face. Your resources are too slim, so you either have to dodge, fight when you only have to, and find ways around the environment. Folks who played Railbreak will also notice that the graphic quality in this game is already far higher than Railbreak. We've already done a lot of work on this build to improve textures and other areas and effects, to basically improve graphics fidelity in the game. Just given the nature of you being able to move around freely and things like that, but it obviously makes it a more immersive game, but we've also done a lot of work on the graphics already. So it's already more of a looker than Railbreak. Railbreak is so old news.
So, real quick, I want to give everyone one last chance to enter the first giveaway today for a copy of Railbreak on the platform of your choice, winner's platform of choice. You just need to type !ticket in chat to be entered in for that. And I'm going to draw that momentarily here. Let me just pull that up real quick. Or rail quick. Ha.
Rail quick.
We're going to give that about 20 seconds, and then I'm going to draw.
See, man, I have a happy GDC memory of you or not GDC, PAX East memory of you whenever I play this level.
Yeah.
Because I remember when Burger used to be on the wall, and I knew how much you loved Burger. Burger.
I
It
love
used to be
Burger.
over there. Yeah.
Rest in peace, Burger.
Rest in peace, Burger.
Oh yes, and if you weren't here yesterday, we do have a new emote. It's unimpressed. Oh
Unimpressed?
no. Uh-oh. I've been timed out by Techno Union. We'll I'll time myself out once I draw this giveaway. So just so everyone knows, again, same method of entering exclamation point ticket. We are taking some new measures to make sure that people who are entering are not bots or scam accounts. So it is not going to pop up on the Twitch chat who won. I will say it out loud. I'm handling the rolling on my end, so just keep that in mind. Without further ado, let's get that going. Let me roll on my end real quick here. Bing bang bong, boopity boopity boop, boopity boopity bop. Let's see who gets it. Who's gonna get it? Who's gonna get it? Who's gonna get it? Who's gonna get it? All right, Sir Khalid, if you are here, you are the winner of a copy of Railbreak. Just message in here, show me that you're still around, and then we can whisper on Twitch to get you your copy. We'll give you a few minutes to do that, and then we will start the next giveaway. So, Sir Khalid, if you are here, please say something or forever hold your peace. Ah, there you are. Perfect. Hello. Whisper me on this account. Congratulations. We will get you that code after the stream. After the stream ends. I'm going to exit the giveaway here, and we're going to start the next one in just a moment. Again, this is for a copy of Railbreak. Same dealio. You're going to type exclamation point ticket in chat to get added to the list there. We'll be drawing this one shortly before the end of today's stream. And with that, I'll give it back to Evan, and I will time myself out. I will not be speaking for a little while because somebody redeemed that I'm not allowed to speak.
Oh, welcome back, everybody. Obviously, again, for folks who play Continuous Members in Dino Break, we always receive feedback. People wanted greater interactions with enemies. They wanted to be able to be grabbed and bitten, like in Resident Evil games. They wanted full dismemberment that affects gameplay. We started to show you some of those features that we had implemented in Railbreak, because obviously there is scenes in Railbreak where you get grabbed and eaten. There's dismemberments fully in Railbreak. But it really takes a more since Railbreak is kind of a game where everything's just kind of running at you on like a suicide mission to kill you. They do affect gameplay in that game, but obviously they're not like as critical in this, where fighting is truly optional. And we tried to do a lot of really interesting, fun things with the dismemberment. So let's see if I can land a leg shot on somebody. There you go. He fell over because I hit him in the leg. Enemies, when they're walking around, just as an example. Oh, that's a cool shot of the helicopter flying through. Enemies, when they're walking around, they're solid. You can't run through them. But enemies that are missing, the enemies that do not have the ability to hit you anymore, like you've blown off their arms, enemies that are missing legs and crawling, and enemies, obviously, that are missing their head and are fucking dead, they become walk-throughable, essentially. So a big way that we're trying to incentivize the player to use the dismemberment system to progress in the game without just, emptying 15 handgun rounds into every zombie that you find because you simply don't have the ammo for it, is to knock them down and run away, or take off an arm and take them out, or land a headshot if they're able to be shot in the head. Hazmat Man here can't take a headshot because he's protected, but standard zombies can, who are just walking around, and it'll be kind of an insta-kill on them. And that's kind of a big way where Shades of Horror is different from something like Railbreak, because Railbreak is you got to gun everything down to get out of the room. In Shades of Horror, we want you to be able to pass a level outside of some necessary boss fights without really killing anything if you want to, or just dismembering them and trying to play it smart. That's kind of the type of immersive gameplay folks were looking for in our survival horror titles for a while, and it's going to finally be in a game, Shades of Horror. So I'm excited about all that. So let's drop down here and let's go make some friends. You can, and again, for anybody who might just be joining us, we're playing this game right now on a 4-year-old AMD rig, a mid-range AMD rig. It was not even top of the line 4 years ago, and we have all the graphics maxed. And I'm running at a pretty good frame rate. I don't really have any problems with this. So I do just want to continue to emphasize to folks that we're building this game with everybody in mind. If you have bleeding edge tech, you can go absolutely nuts, and the game is going to be gorgeous, using all the latest bells and whistles from Unreal Engine like path tracing and ray tracing. If you have a lower end machine, you can turn it all off. It's going to run great on that machine too. So nothing to worry about there. Let's see if we can get a bit here. There you go. Look at that guy. He's dead. So full dismemberment. Let's see if we can get a headshot on somebody. Oh, well, I got the guy in the back there. Took his head clean off. There you go. Let's see if I can get somebody to grab me here. There you go. So yeah, so all this stuff that if you've been a long-time fan of our games, or if you're just liking cool mechanics in games, Shades of Horror is going to support all those awesome features.
Oh, one moment, sorry. Holster, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome everyone from Holster's stream.
Hi, Holster.
We are Dead Drop Studios. We are streaming our current build of Outbreak Shades of Horror, which is our next generation, or I guess current generation now, survival horror game. And we're kind of taking a look into how the game works. We also talked a little bit earlier about the development pipeline for the game, as well as debuted a new trailer, which we'll show that trailer again today before the end of the stream. If you are just joining, the stream, if you type in !ticket in chat, you can enter our giveaway for a copy of Railbreak. That is our House of the Dead light gun on-rail shooter game. Things are going great here. Thank you so much, Holster. I hope you're doing well as well. That's redundant. Hope you're doing good. Thank you so much for the raid. We are,
Thank you.
Diving into Shades of Horror.
And yeah, I mean, there were, as you go through the game, we're definitely gonna have story beats with NPCs and everything, but hopefully this is showing off to folks that the movement is more fluid. The gameplay mechanics are pretty in depth, it's a very different beast from Railbreak and a far more immersive game, and it supports 4-player online co-op. You can bring 4 friends into the adventure and fight over supplies and battle the undead. So we're gonna skip ahead to the next section here and show you guys some puzzles and stuff. Since we're a little limited on stream time, if you were to be going through this level as intentioned, you eventually would find a note that speaks about a locked case here, and that's referring to this case over here by the ambulance. And if you were to know the code, which I've already forgotten, you'll find that you get the valve by opening it. Everybody loves valve. It's the valve. So Shades of Horror features puzzle items in addition to items in your inventory. You'll have to keep a close eye out for key items to open doors, to unlock new areas, to interact with the environment. And don't worry, for those fans who love cranks and valves, we've got you covered. This is also a good time to show off the crafting system. I took some damage from some zombies. You can see I've got the jelly, or whatever we call it, the red jelly on the sides of the screen showing me wounded.
Jelly.
You can see my health in the lower right-hand corner. I'm all the way down to warning. So I've got my sprouts. Everybody loves our patented sprouts that are in no way a reference to anything else. And I've got a green sprout, a red sprout, and a blue sprout. And you'll never guess what you can do with these sprouts. You can select your green sprout, go to combine with your red sprout, and you get a potent healing item. And even if you wanted to, you could combine that with your blue sprout, which cures poison, and you can get the elusive rare sprout that heals all wounds. If you use it, I'll get all my health back and go back up to fine, because I'm feeling fine.
Just a shout out to Holster for the raid. Thank you again so much for the raid. Please consider following Holster for some awesome Resident Evil playthroughs and more.
Absolutely. Holster's awesome. She's played, I think, a lot of our games on stream, and she's fantastic at them. Working with the environment is also huge. I mean, obviously, climbing up ladders is sometimes necessary, but we have the ability to climb down ladders, clearly. But also, you can just choose to jump down onto cars. Maybe take a little bit of fall damage in the process because you're not a superhuman, unstoppable juggernaut here. But those are the kind of choices we're going to give you in the game, is sometimes going the fast way is more dangerous, but might pay off dividends if you've gotta go. Gore, the game is intended to be extremely gory. Blood is persistent on the ground. Hit markers, just like in Railbreak, are pretty detailed and pretty horrific, honestly. These markers kind of make me a little...
Pretty nasty.
And because I have RT, I have path tracing on, even blood gives off real-time reflections. It's kind of hard to see, but you will actually see as you spread blood all over the environment and look around. That dude's head off. Ugh. Blood does offer full reflections on the environment, and it looks just awesome. So we're using everything possible with Unreal Engine.
Holster says, really enjoyed Dino Break, loved Railbreak especially. Such a vibe. Want to restream that. Oh, absolutely. If you are, if you do ever end up restreaming, feel free to tag us on Twitter too, and we'll try and stop in. But we really appreciate your support and that you have been digging the games. We're really hoping that people are going to dig this one, Outbreak Shades of Horror, which we announced earlier today is going to be entering Steam Early Access this summer. So we are very excited for people to get their hands on this one.
Yeah.
Those notes me when I wake up.
I love the gore. I love how gory this game is.
Oh, you know I do.
No, what I'm here for. All right, let's get our... there's a new handgun to pick up. Gimme. Oh, the construction manual. This is the one that tells you the code for the case of the valve. So obviously, as with typical survival horror fashion, you'll eventually find an impassable barricade. Everything's on fire, and it just so happens there's a water tank there. How convenient.
How convenient.
And you'll see markers in the environment to interact with the environment here.
I wonder what you could use to interact with that water tank.
Yeah, so let's just say that I'm not the developer, and I notice that there's a note over here. The note gives me the hint to go back and get the valve. But because I'm a pro, and I made the game, I know what to do.
Because I'm a dirty cheater, and I made the game.
I'm a dirty cheater, and I made the game. So I'm gonna hop into my handy-dandy inventory and use my valve. And boom, the water comes out and puts out the fire. Isn't that beautiful?
That's great.
All of those water droplets have reflections on them, too. Because I have the graphics maxed.
Because we're wild and this game is a looker.
This game is the looker. I'm so pleased with how the game looks and how well it runs. We talked about grenades. I picked up a grenade earlier. Let's equip a grenade. Alrighty. Grenades are very bouncy in this. I don't have the short fuse like in Railbreak. So let's see if I can actually get these fuckers.
Bouncy. Not sure where that went.
Oh,
it did
went
bounce.
too far. The fuse is way too long. I've been meaning to fix that, but it was a nice explosion. It looked cool.
It was ineffective, but pretty.
Body shots, limb shots, in typical Dead Space fashion are very effective. Obviously, shooting an arm and stuff will blow off the arm, the legs, blows off the legs. But torso shots are fairly ineffective and will continue to be because zombies don't really care if you shoot them in the torso. One of the things that we learned from Railbreak that we actually ended up doing in Railbreak, and it felt so good we moved it over to Shades of Horror, is originally we had it like Resident Evil where a limb shot wasn't a guaranteed limb break on standard enemies. We've moved it to an always limb break because it just feels better. So shooting a leg, shooting a head on a standard enemy will always result in it. Obviously, when you encounter special infected and super infected, kind of like in Railbreak, those were the guys with like the health gauges in Railbreak. You're not gonna be able to just one-shot them in the head to end them.
Dude, she was hauling ass.
Yeah, she was hauling ass. For normal zombies, we're gonna leave it in because there's a lot of ammo in the demo right now. There's not gonna be a lot of ammo in the full game, so you're gonna really have to make those shots count. And I think it's a fair trade-off to say to people, well, if you do land a headshot, we should reward you for that every time.
Yeah, and it does add that layer of strategy.
Because there is a little bit of strategy. There you go. I took 3 shots to get him, but man.
But you finally
I love how the fire effect goes out too when they die.
Yep.
And you're going to be encountering all new stuff. Let's pick up the assault rifle here. I love the assault rifle.
I know we've said this before, but with that example, I also would like to point out too that yeah, developing Railbreak also helped us build this game. We've learned a lot from the Railbreak experience that we are now kind of integrating into the Shades of Horror experience in places where it makes sense. Corin, there is
Absolutely.
indeed a laser sight, although Evan is like, well, I'm using the crosshair because it's
Well,
better.
because everybody a year ago was yelling at me. It's like, oh, laser sights suck. I want to use the crosshairs. I'll turn on the laser sight.
Mm-hmm.
Because Corinne's a pro, so she's gonna only use the laser sight. Well, it clearly didn't. Oh,
Oh,
well, it's broken.
it did break.
I think the laser sight's broken.
I
Uh-huh.
believe so.
Oh, that's how it kind of would have worked.
Game,
I guess
game development.
I never fixed it when I upgraded to Unreal Engine 5.3 from 5.11. So,
It's
well, that's how
it is now the
that's
laser
how
beam.
yeah, that's how it would work without me moving after that. But you can see it. We do the ball and everything from Resident Evil 5. If you can aim at something with a laser sight and interact, you get the ball. I will
Yep.
fix this tonight for the next stream whenever we stream. I'll have the laser sight working again. But yeah, it will be an option, and it does work usually.
Yes, it should work,
Sometimes.
but
So let's turn it off, though. Clearly,
again,
that's gonna be
game
on.
is a work in progress, guys.
I will note, yeah, well, that's the whole point here. I will note, though, I turned on laser sight and I still have a crosshair on my screen. Even with a laser sight on, we give you the crosshair when you're not aiming your weapon, because the crosshair is really useful for like picking up items, to aim at items to pick up. So,
Yep.
that came out of internal feedback playing, because originally we had no crosshair with just the laser sight on. It had made picking up items very unintuitive. So,
Oh, you
All
still
right,
have the
let's
laser
put
sight, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, let's put on crosshair. All right. There you encounter new obstacles in Shades of Horror, like barricades. Everybody's favorite part of Resident Evil Outbreak is back barricades. Attack to destroy, durability, where you can shoot them, you can knife them. But the cost of knifing is enemies can hit you through them. So if you're not careful, you can get a hit from an enemy. But I'm good at dodging because I'm a pro.
He also knows how it works, so he's cheating technically.
Yeah. Take that, gate. Look at that thing go. I love the physics on it. Bouncing. You can see it took like
Nice.
seven body shots there to take him down. Zombies do trail blood as they crawl around. You see his limb is spraying blood everywhere as he crawls. I love it.
Best boss in Outbreak File 1 was the door. Now Shades of Horror has the fence boss.
I'm the fence boss. God, Unreal Engine looks incredible though.
So are
It's-
are you able to hit them through the barricade or no?
No, the barricade stops all damage in typical Resident Evil Outbreak fashion.
Yeah, but they can hit you, so congratulations.
Brawlers are fucking assholes though.
Yeah. That guy's
God, look at this
hauling.
asshole.
Are we gonna knife in butt soon?
Oh, that's right. We had to do some
We have
butt
to do
knifing.
some butt knife. I feel like he's a
Right.
good candidate for butt knife. Or that he deserves it, you know?
Oh, take that. Work the ass. But just to show folks, I'm a man of my word. You can knife corpses and you can keep dismembering them as you knife them. So, you can have look. I just knifed his fucking head off. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, if a
But,
particular zombie was very upsetting for you, and you finally killed them, then you can, I guess, exact some messed up revenge.
This is a great scene though. You can see the reflections of everything in the blood. Again, it's just gore. I like as I not to sound like a weirdo, but gore was really important for us in this game because our earlier games were very limited in terms of what we could do with gore and Unity, and Unreal Engine just lets you go absolutely crazy. So we've put a lot of work into gore. Just decals when you're hitting enemies that look like these decals look horrifying to me. I don't know how
Yeah.
they look to you, but the blood spurts to look as realistic as possible. And I cannot say enough nice things about the lighting engine, the Lumen lighting engine in Unreal. Like, I mean, this is just incredible. And
Sorry.
again, I'm on a mid-range 4-year-old AMD machine running this right now. This is great.
Sarge says
You guys-
Soldier of Fortune vibes. That's something I have not thought about in a very long time.
Yeah. I like climbing ladders. I don't know, like the ladders thing is kind of weird because I don't know if people really truly like them in old Resident Evil games, Resident Evil Outbreak, but I thought they were really important because it gives you like the ability to vertically interact with the environment. It gives you way as a game designer, gives you ways to block off areas where zombies can't get to. Like, for example, being able to climb up a ladder gives you something that you can do that a zombie can't do, you know? And I don't know. People get on my case about ladders, but you guys can expect a lot of ladders.
We love ladders.
I do. Like, I love the lighting. I literally just walk around this game sometimes and just look at the lighting. And for anybody who's joining us, there is a full first-person mode that you can switch to at any point. You can be in third person or first person. Anytime, switch whenever you want. They both work great. We're just playing in third person because we've been showing a lot of first person through Railbreak. Look how gory it is. Like, look at this shit.
NetJam says ladders are great. We just want to be able to go up them marginally faster by holding sprint.
Yeah, I turned that off because it broke the game. So
Yeah.
no.
No tank this time? Not this time. Well, at least as of now. This is still a work in progress.
I'm really happy with the fire. I put a lot of work into the fire, like in the game, and I'm really happy with it. I know CMM, I don't think we're getting to Resident Evil 3 tonight. So
let's just keep doing this.
Let's just keep having fun. But yeah, I'm so pleased with how this game's turning out. Oh, fuck you, crawler. The crawler's also great because you never fucking see them.
Oh, he's
Go,
still
3
fine.
fucking body
He's
shots.
still
He's still
fine.
going.
He's good. He's a
look at
little
the
less.
blood.
He's a little less good.
Oh, look at the blood pouring out. Ugh, I love it. People who play this game are going to notice that I love the idea of pushing things off ledges and then using them to hurt enemies. So you're going to be doing a lot of that. Like I love the idea of pushing a barrel off and shooting it.
In terms of other environments, Jaded, of course, there will be many others. I'm not sure what we're going to be showing today specifically, but
well, do you want to see an environment that we've never shown off? I
Sure.
don't think we've ever shown it off before.
if we have, it hasn't in a while.
Let's spoil this. This will be a pro tip for anybody who plays the early beta because the console will probably still be here. But
Ooh. Nora, so we actually we're just talking about the release schedule today. So we originally were intending to have Shades of Horror available in full in November 2025. We have shifted the release strategy a bit, and the game will now be releasing episodically. And all of the episodes and stuff will be available by that same time in November 2025, but our initial release of the game will include the first scenario and some other content on Steam Early Access this summer. So you'll be able to get in early and also kind of let us know what you think, and we can kind of help shape the game and the adventure together.
so I love this environment. This is the so outside on the outskirts of Cypress Ridge is the Cypress Ridge Forest or whatever the hell it's called. Julie's got a name for it.
Not the Forest of Illusion from Super Mario World, but it's a little more sinister.
It is not the Forest of Illusion. Close though.
It's also not the Castle of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse.
But like I don't want to say, like, obviously that level that we just showed off I think looks fabulous. Like I love walking around Main Street and seeing it, but I love like this area to me really shows me how awesome Unreal Engine is. I love the fog. Everything feels like it has like density in this scene with the fog and the lighting coming off the fog. It just looks incredible to me. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but I love how the lighting.
It's very moody. It definitely puts on a great atmosphere. Yeah. Thanks, Nora. We're very excited about the future of this game. And again, this of course is a work in progress. It is by no means anywhere near close to final, so if you notice any kind of weirdness or missing stuff or stuff seems a little odd, it is all because we are deep in development.
I love the water too. This is the Cypress Ridge Lake here, and I just love the reflections off the water as you look around. Unreal Engine is just awesome.
NetJam noticed zombie attacks can be dodged now after the animation starts. Very nice change.
Yes. So what happens is the great point on that, because Thank you, NetJam Jr., for pointing that out because I actually put a lot of work into that. The enemy attacks are timed, so there is only a brief window on the swing where they can hit you. So you're not just taking damage if you're there when it's swinging. It waits until the arm is at a certain like level coming forward and attacking. And if you're there, you'll take the damage. If you step out of the way, you don't take the damage. And it's not using like a cylindrical bounding box for your character. It's using your actual model. So if your model's not there, you're not going to take the damage.
Corin says, insert mansion in the forest that has nothing to do with the zombies to throw off expectations. Yeah, we're just gonna drop Luigi's mansion in the forest, right. And now you're fighting ghosts.
I love how the forest looks. Like I'm so excited about the different areas that we will eventually be going to in this game. Because this looks to me like I always love the opening cutscene to Resident Evil when they're running around the forest. And I've always wanted to have a scene like that in my game. And like Lost Hope, I originally wanted to have that kind of feeling. And well, I built it with Unity, so that sure as shit wasn't going to happen. I had to get the rendering distance down to nothing, and the environment was just black. But I love that you can walk around the forest with your flashlight, and you can like feel the density and the light. And it's so moody. I love it.
Yeah.
I could just walk for hours.
Until you inevitably get killed.
Until I eventually get killed. But even like the lighting here, you see kind of like the light bouncing off the ground from the path tracing, and it kind of goes up into the fog. It just looks so like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but I love it. It feels like it has weight and density to it. And water, of course, just looks awesome. So there's your environment preview for the day.
Jaded says, how big is this level?
Oh, this level's this level's massive.
Pretty large.
I have not actually coded in the area for where you're going to be here yet, except for that little opening area. I have some thoughts for what I'm going to do here, but it's pretty big, and I'm thinking of ways to take advantage of that bigness while not letting you get lost. Because obviously you can't just it's really easy to lose track of where you are. I mean, we've just been walking in the woods. I couldn't find my way back. It's also why you have a compass, because a smart person would have looked at their compass at the beginning and then known how to get back.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that word like that before.
Yeah.
Compass. No.
Compass? Well, that's
I morally object.
Whatever. Well,
Compass.
I'm functional.
Compass, damn it.
I'm functionally illiterate. So what do you want from me?
all you can read is code.
Yeah, so Shades of Horror is going to be the ultimate just go for a walk in the woods simulator and think about your life. I mean, did you make a good decision today? Did you overthink that thing you said in the meeting? But maybe you just run around and
we'll have it just start asking you existential questions.
As you walk, instead of the shout out shootout and rail break, in this game it's just you're just walking in the woods and the names pop up and every name asks you a question. It's like, you did that really stupid thing 13 years ago that no one else noticed except you. Why don't you think about that for a while you're trying to go to sleep?
And then someone else will ask you, what is your preferred breakfast sandwich?
Exactly.
We have to touch all aspects of life here.
Absolutely. So yeah, folks, we're going to certainly be doing a lot more Shades of Horror as we get up to launches and stuff, but I thought it would be fun to kind of walk around and look at things. So I don't know. Is there any pressing questions from anybody? We've pretty much burned all the time we were going to use for Resident Evil 3, so that ain't happening.
Yeah, we're going to do that another time, which is fine. I think it's great that we were able to take our time and look at Shades of Horror since it's been a while. Chat, if you have any questions about the game, especially stuff that we announced today in regards to the release, the new release and development roadmap stuff that you are unclear on, please ask away. We would like to answer as many of those questions as possible. And again, if you are one of our Kickstarter backers, tomorrow you will see an in-depth post that pretty much goes over everything that we talked about tonight. Or you can watch the VOD for this stream if you would like to, for an explanation, but we want to make it available to people in many different forms. A lot of the stuff for Shades of Horror is obviously still in flux and still early on, but we have announced that our first episode of Shades of Horror will be releasing this summer. It will include the first scenario and the tutorial. It will also include content for the Operation Rabid Wolf mode, which is comparable to something like the Mercenaries mode in Resident Evil. And then for all of our Kickstarter backers, you'll also be receiving the first installment of the Trials of Hank, which is a side campaign that checks in with what Hank's going up with Hank while everyone else is dealing with problems in Shades of Horror. And that content will not only be exclusive to 6 months for Kickstarter backers, it'll also be free for Kickstarter backers, whereas the average Joe will need to purchase the Trials of Hank as a DLC to play it. Construction site.
So one of the things I just did there is obviously it's that's an unfinished level, but the levels obviously in this game, you don't just go back to a menu after doing a level. You continue to the next level, and just showing folks that your inventory as you you can play through the entire campaign front to back without stopping, and your inventory does keep as you go level to level. But
Yeah,
just wanna...
that's something else too, to make clear. So although we are releasing the game episodically, and adding new scenarios essentially quarterly, roughly, you will be able to play the scenarios one after another, obviously up through the scenarios that we have available at the time. Excuse me, and you do not need to... There won't be a thing where, oh, Outbreak Shades of Horror, you need to download, or, you don't need to, open Outbreak Shades of Horror Scenario 1 and then open Outbreak Shades of Horror Scenario 2 as, separate applications. The future episodes and updates will be added as, essentially, as content updates for Shades of Horror. And when we do add new episodes, the base price of the game will go up. So if you have not yet backed the game or grabbed the game, if you buy the game when it's available to everybody on Steam Early Access, you will be getting in at a lower MSRP than if you were to wait until the full game is done. So we didn't think it would be fair to charge people full price when all we have for the game, is the initial scenario. So that we are adopting a sort of rolling pricing structure for that.
I like walking around the city.
I do like the city. City is
Yeah,
quite
I like
nice.
this too.
Jaded,
Cybertridge is
Jaded asks, Opera House level? I don't know if we're talking about that yet, but I think we can say I don't think we can say yes. I don't think we can say no.
I don't know. I'm tempted to just load into it, honestly. But yeah, I won't say yes or no. All I'm saying is I'm tempted to load into it.
Yeah, that's the answer to that question.
Yeah. I love how the police station turned out. I'll always love the police station.
Yes.
I really wanted this to feel like a Resident Evil game.
A messy, messy, messy police station that has seen many better days.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm loving how well this is running on this computer. Like, this is like... There's so much more happening in this game than what was happening in Railbreak. And I'm so pleased with how well this is running.
Just a reminder that we do have the second and final giveaway coming up soon for when we end stream. If you would like to enter the raffle for a copy of Railbreak on the winner's platform of choice, please type !ticket into chat, so you can be added to the list of people who may win. My brain kind of started shortening there for a moment, but that is indeed what a raffle is.
It is a raffle. You have successfully described a raffle.
Yes, I try very hard.
I love the reflections in the bloodstains. I don't know why that was so important to me, but it was like critical to me with this game that I wanted bloodstains to reflect everything.
Well, I mean,
And I love...
going into Unreal Engine 5 and having all this extra ability to do stuff that we haven't had in the past, now it's sort of almost impossible to resist certain things like that if we can make it happen.
I know, it's just I just love it. I love the light coming through gates. I mean, just look at the reflections. God, I love it. Let's show people an area they've never seen. Let's see.
Okay.
So let's scoot on over here. I think I actually did barricade it off, though, that I can't make the jump anymore. We might have to go in through photo mode.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think I put
Up.
another bookshelf.
Yeah, somebody was like, please don't get through here.
Damn it. Yeah, I think I did. Before I had a jump that I was able to make. Come on, can I still do it?
Ooh.
Nope.
Can
Hold
Evan
on.
break his own game?
On, I want to get over here. There's cool stuff. All right, we just gotta get enough speed to. Did I not make it? Well, I got it. I almost got the jump
You
there.
almost got it.
Oh, it's almost like I'm playing like Mario and doing the glitch jump. Come on, let me
We're
up.
trying to get into the minus world here, and we'll see what happens in a moment.
Oh, is it happening?
It might be.
Come on, come on! I'm so close.
Maybe.
Oh, her model's too big. I can't
What
get
if
through.
what if you crouch?
I am crouched.
Oh.
But when she moves, she steps up a little bit as she walks, and it raises the walks their model. What if we try to slide in sideways here? Oh, whatever. We got the fucking camera.
We do have a
F.
camera.
All right, so did that? No, that didn't let me go here. All right, so free look and hide. See, can I get in here? Yeah, there's a whole world behind the barricades that you can't see, like this.
Like this. Must
And
construct
this.
additional pylons.
You could even look out the windows if you wanted to and think about what's happening out there.
Think about your
Here,
life
let's get-
decisions.
Look at her up there.
Yeah, she is stylish.
She is cool. Yeah, the DJ's awesome. Wow.
Hello, General
I mean-
Malice.
I'm excited for this game. General Malice, we were just talking about you in the office. Oh, we were. They actually came up because we were talking about playable survivors and things like that. And I believe Julia's got an email going out to that person in the next month or so about things.
Yeah, we are going to be doing that stuff to get your guys' survivors, and if you pledge for a storyline as well to get that implemented.
God, the city's just I love how the city turned out. I'll always love the city. I love walking around it, and I really wanted that feeling that like they had in Raccoon City, and I think we nailed it.
We love Raccoon City until it was gone. Rip.
Rip.
NetJam asks, will Kickstarter survivors be in scenario 1? I don't think so. Yeah.
No. Oh, look at the nice reflections on it.
General Malice now manages Carlos Piscina and said he would provide any advice needed. That is extremely kind and generous.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I actually am a very big fan of Carlos Piscina, so that's really cool. I'm a huge Mortal Kombat person.
Dude, I cut that dude in half. Whoa.
He looks like he deserved it. Carlos Piscina would be proud.
Oh my god, this game's gory.
Oh yeah, Midwest Gaming Classic. I didn't realize that was this soon. That's awesome. I'm trying to think. Midwest Game. Yeah, I've still never been out there before. The 5th through 7th. That's awesome. Well, I hope you have an incredible time out there. Hope that Carlos and everybody else does as well. I'm sure there'll be plenty of people who are excited to meet him and hang out. And I've met some of the other MK actors before, and they've always been extremely kind and generous. So I hope you all have a fantastic event.
I don't think this game's gonna be rated E for everyone.
I feel like this is probably not an E for everyone game.
No,
Just a hunch.
I don't think it's gonna make it. I think
Yeah.
we might have pushed it. Just a
Unless
little
they're
too
all
much.
tofu zombies, and that's just like
Oh, we should do that.
it is tofu zombies.
Oh, we should have a mode where everything just becomes a tofu zombie.
General Malice, that is extremely kind and generous of you. We may very well take you up on that. Thank you.
I'm just bug hunting. All right.
All right.
So we're hitting the end here. Anybody have any questions or want to see anything while I have the build loaded up?
While we have the build loaded up, this is your last chance if you would like to see something, or if you have a specific question that we can show in game right now. Otherwise, we're going to start wrapping up, getting that raffle drawn and all that fun stuff. NetJam wants you to climb a box in first person. It's a very specific request.
Sure, hold on. 1 second.
We've got your box climbing needs. We aim to please. Any secret levels like the opera level? Well, if we told you there were secret levels, they wouldn't be secret, would they?
Yeah, I already loaded one up. I'm really bad at keeping secret levels secret.
Or
You
tell them,
want to
like,
climb a
oh,
box?
baby.
Climb a box in first person? Whee!
Hello,
Box
Durbo.
climb.
Welcome in. We will be drawing the winner of the raffle soon as we wrap up here tonight. Just keep in mind that you need to be following us, you need to be here, and you need to do that exclamation point ticket thing to have a chance to win. If you don't, then you will not win. It'll be very sad. And it goes without saying, but do not, attempt to jerry-rig the system with alternate accounts or all that fun stuff, because if you win with an alternate account, you will also lose with an alternate account, because you won't get anything.
There you go, first person ladder climb.
There you go.
And let's climb down the ladder in first person. Let's do all the interactions.
Apophis says they sometimes co-host a gaming podcast. Want to come on and talk about the crisis in your current projects? I think we can probably figure something out with that. Thank you.
I want in.
Yeah, we will.
I got a lot of thoughts.
We will reach out regarding that. Thank you for the invite. We'll see when, just because things are a little wild and crazy around here right now, as it is.
We are wild and crazy.
Love.
We have like 7 games coming out in the next 5 months or something. some stupid shit like that.
Evan's grinding himself to the bone. It's all the indie lifestyle.
Yeah. Luckily, the game industry is so strong, though, so I'm sure we're going to be just fine.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit earlier about some of the challenges in the games industry right now, both for larger studios and employees of those studios, on top of smaller outfits like us that are trying to stay afloat while the entire world burns around us. Not unlike the survivors in Cypress Ridge. Maybe ours will be a little less bloody and violent, though, I think. If we were to...
Alright.
To die.
Alright. It's time to jump off the tower.
Yay! Do it, do it, do it.
Hey, I wonder if I can make that jump.
I wonder if you can make that jump.
Yeah!
Oh, you actually made it. I was expecting you
I
not
made
to.
it! Oh, wait, what other jumps can I make? Now this is awesome. Now I want to make jumps. What do we got?
Make a jump onto the concrete. Face
Down
first.
there. Let's do it! Yeah!
God. Alright. I think at this time we're gonna switch back to the roadmap screen just so everybody can take a look at that again.
Died.
For those who might have missed... Oh, that's good. We always gotta end it with a death.
Yeah.
It's like...
Or the poor DJ could not fly.
It's an unwritten...
Oh, secret stuff. Let's show a secret thing while we're here.
He's so bad at keeping secrets.
There's everybody's pictures.
Yay!
Banned for life.
Banned for life.
Look at all of us. We've got Lady Z. We've got Cass. We've got Corinne. Julia. Me. We've got CMM up there.
There I am.
With us, that was PAX East 2023.
Shoot him.
Shoot CMM.
Yeah. Beautiful.
But yeah, this is why you want to buy Shades of Horror, for all these awesome secrets that we've got.
You need to buy the Shades of Horror for our headshots.
There you go. Banned for life. I always love that. Banned for life.
Banned for life. Banned for good reason.
Whoa, the Magnum's in here? Nice. I got Zarina's gun.
You stole her weapon.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna find somebody to shoot. You.
Well, you found something to shoot, all right. Oh, well, that's a bad time. Alright, let's back out to the other screen here. Let me get that set up real quick. Where is my just chatting window? Here we go. All right, guys. So this is going to be the end of the stream. Before we draw the raffle giveaway, this is your last chance to enter exclamation point ticket. Um, I'm gonna play the trailer one more time, for you guys so you can see it before we log off for tonight. Let me get
Oh,
that going. Mm-hmm.
before you play that, can I just show people how it looks in Steam? Because the Steam art's really nice.
Oh yeah, if you wanted to share the
Yeah.
browser one. Yeah,
One,
yeah,
one,
yeah. Yeah.
one second. Let
I'll
me just.
transition
I'm
to
just gonna.
you
I'm gonna.
when you're ready.
I'm gonna share my. I'm gonna be really dangerous. I'm just gonna share my
Oh
screen.
God.
Oh, wait, I can just share Steam. Look how fucking good
All right,
that
hang on.
looks.
They can't see it yet. Three, two,
Aw,
one. Now they can see it.
look how good that looks. I'd buy that game.
We updated the logo and key art along with
On
all the
Steam.
new stuffs.
Look at the awesome. Look at the vertical box art for it now. Look at that over there. That's so
That is
cool.
cool. It is cool.
Yeah. Look at
Here's
all of our
looking at you,
games.
kid.
Got a lot of cool games. Got the Dino Break. Everybody loves the Dino Break. Oh, I can play the Fedora Files.
You could.
Ooh. Yeah, look at that. This game's gonna be cool. Totally incompetent.
Totally incompetent.
That's me. That's me. Totally incompetent.
That's yep.
What other hidden games we got here that we didn't tell anybody about? Any other
The
hidden
hidden ones.
Outbreak games?
We got the old Shades of Horror teaser. See
Yeah,
that?
we do have to boot this up on a stream at some point because
Yeah.
it is noteworthy to go back and like what we just showed there. We honestly on the next stream I would actually like to go boot this up for a couple minutes and see what the target render looked like. But yeah,
All right, we're gonna boot back to the assets sharing screen. I say assets sharing screen. If I can click on the button, where is the button? Just chatting. There we go.
you said ass.
I said ass. Jaded
You
says
said ass.
Jaded says Dino Break 2. Well
Yeah, where's Dino Break? Where's Dino Break 2 on this list?
well we do have Tailbreak coming to Railbreak later this year, so that is a Dino related excursion. I'm gonna show you guys the trailer real quick in case you missed it. And then we'll get to drawing that winner and signing off. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Long before the infection, there was peace, prosperity, and evolution, but now it's hell. The dead are everywhere. The smell of rotting flesh fills the air. Hours of time were spent in the AR, only to be filled with the memories of my staff's scream as they were eaten alive. Rookie mistake, but I survived. They won't though. This city is not for the dead, but for the living. I will escape this hell at all costs, and we will wake from this nightmare.
Report suspicious activities.
As mayor, I know that a city is not just brick and mortar, but her citizens. We built this place with our hard work and devotion. Our beautiful city, the result of our hopes and our dreams. Therefore, it is the duty of each and every one of you, anyone who is left, to escape.
Hello, everybody. So, I'm just gonna throw up real quick. I'm gonna throw up the
Throw up real damn quick.
I'm gonna throw up the roadmap real quick for those of you who may have missed it. Again, we announced earlier today our new release strategy for Outbreak Shades of Horror. It'll now be released episodically, and we'll be starting at a lower MSRP for if you get in earlier. But brief summary, and we are going to have this VOD up after we finish out here. Whoops, I got rid of Evan by accident.
You guys, somebody asking how they can share the trailer. It'll be up on YouTube soon tonight,
Yes.
maybe.
Yeah, the video
Good.
is going to be up on YouTube tonight. Um, hang on. Where is whatever. We're gonna just close this window and have a black screen there. Um, if you did miss it or the full explanation, we are gonna have this VOD up on YouTube, hopefully tonight or tomorrow. We're gonna have the trailer that we showed today up as well separately. And for our Kickstarter backers, we are gonna have a full post tomorrow detailing the tweaks and changes to Outbreak Shades of Horror as we sort of shift into getting the show on the road amidst a very challenging climate, um, in the game's business right now with so many studios and employees, being fired or let go or closing down. Um, so while the
It's
game,
crazy. It's literally every day. It's
yeah,
crazy.
it's wild. As you can see on screen, episode 5, which will bring us to the full game's content, will be out by November 2025. So we will still be releasing the game as scheduled. The difference is that we're going to be releasing it piece by piece. So this also gives us the opportunity for people who have backed us and people in the community to leave their feedback and sort of help us shape this thing as we go through it. The first episode release is going to be in summer 2024. Oh, do you not see the roadmap? Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. Now you should see the roadmap. My bad. Um, Episode 1 is the initial release of Shades of Horror on Steam Early Access. It will include the tutorial and Scenario 1. It'll include the content for some content for Operation Rabid Wolf, which is our mercenaries mode. We've announced that it will include 6 playable survivors. And it will also include a side campaign called The Trials of Hank. These Trials of Hank episodes are glimpses into what Hank is up to while Lydia and the rest of the Cypress Ridge is dealing with the outbreak. And for our Kickstarter backers, not only will this content be 6 months exclusive to Kickstarter backers, but once the 6 months expires, non-backers will need to purchase this content as DLC, whereas Kickstarter backers will never have to pay for it. That is something that Kickstarter backers are entitled to. This is because we are coming in at a lower MSRP for the initial release than was originally promised, since we were originally intending to release the game all at once. So for those of you who did back early, we did want to give you something of value, so that you have something extra that the average person who comes in now doesn't necessarily have or has to pay more for. Um, we're going to be releasing these episodes essentially quarterly, roughly, until the final episode of November, and which is in November 2025. We talked about a couple other changes to features and content today. One of those things is that the orchestral soundtrack is unfortunately no longer on the table. We will still have a wonderful soundtrack for you guys, but we do have to decrease the scope of the orchestral soundtrack. Um, and I believe the local split screen multiplayer is also something that we've unfortunately had to cut as we try to put this thing together and make it a real shippable product. But we are still going to be providing the other contents that we've promised, including the zombie transformation feature, which has also seen some tweaks, which you'll see in the blog post tomorrow, or if you listen back to the VOD, you can hear it there as well. In regards to DLC for consoles when that version launches, so the initial launch of the game is going to be Steam Early Access only. However, we are looking to have at least one of the console versions ready by the end of this calendar year. We can't fully say, like, yes, that's totally happening yet, but that is what we are aspiring to right now. If you did back on a console level, like you backed for the full game on console, you will also receive a code for the Steam Early Access version of the game so that you can play it as it's released and coming out. And again, if you are someone who did not back the game, you won't have access to the Trials of Hank for 6 months, and you will have to pay a DLC for that. Additionally, whenever a new episode releases, it is a content update for the existing Shades of Horror, and as such, the base MSRP will increase. So, if you are buying the game earlier than later, you will get access to the content, both earlier and cheaper than if you were to wait for the full game. The game will slowly increase in MSRP until Episode 5 releases, at which point it will release at its final intended MSRP. Again, we do realize that this isn't the most ideal situation and that we did really want to have this game released all at once. But considering the challenges that we're facing and, keeping things flowing and trying to stay afloat, the episodic content model makes the most sense for us, and we're trying to really make it worth your guys' while as well. If you backed at a tier where you would get beta or alpha access, you will get access to the episodes sometime before their public release. We're not entirely sure on the timeline for that yet, but you will have access to the episodes before they are available for everyone else. So we will still be maintaining that. And yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell. Again, please see the the Kickstarter post tomorrow for full details on some of the changes and how things are going to be working. It'll be there in plain black and white so that it's easier to digest. I know that we've shared a lot of details and information today. Without further ado, I think it is time to roll the giveaway. So let me get that going for you guys. We're going to close that, and I'm going to get this going real quick, and we'll see who wins a copy of Railbreak for the winner's platform of choice.
I hope I win.
Evan didn't enter, but he may win still. You know how it goes.
Nice. Oh, that's good to know.
He always wins.
I have a question. You keep talking about what we're doing for like the backers that we appreciate and value.
Uh-huh.
What are we doing to the backers that we hate?
The backers that we hate. I don't think we have a roadmap for the backers that we hate.
Damn.
It's
I hate them so much.
You hate them so much that there's no roadmap.
Yeah.
Let me just see. Wait.
Kevin is always the winner.
Where is it? Hang on, I need to refresh this real quick. They do not hate you, Jaded. 1, 2.
Jaded's fine. I got no problem with Jaded. That will be though, guy. I'll tell you that dude. There's just something about him.
Okay, so again, I mentioned this earlier, but we are handling the giveaways slightly differently right now. You will no longer see the winner appear in the stream chat. I will be announcing it out loud. The reason for that is to prevent alternate accounts and scam accounts from winning codes of the game, so that people who are truly here will have a chance to win, to win our giveaways. So with that being said, I believe, let me just make sure I rolled that correctly.
Corinne have a command in here. Kind of rude.
Our winner, the other copy of Railbreak today, is Graham64. If you are still here, please say something in chat so we can get you your code. We'll give you a couple minutes before we need to re-roll. In the meantime, I'm going to start looking for a raid target tonight, since you all have been so wonderful. And we had Holster, who raided earlier. Thank you to them for the raid. And thank you to everyone who resubbed today. I know Corin did. I know some idiot named Evan did. I know
11 months. Yeah.
But Corin still beats you at 12. We had a bunch of people resub today. We got into a small hype
wins
train,
on
which is
everything.
Awesome. But yes, Graham, if you are here, please speak now or forever hold your peace, so we can get you that copy of Railbreak. Otherwise, I will need to re-roll you in just a moment. In the meantime, let's see who we're gonna raid. Who we gonna raid?
Dude, I almost have enough points for an IRL voice ban.
Oh God. That's dangerous for
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
That is highly dangerous for me.
It's gonna finally be my time.
My time.
Yeah.
It's my time. No, it's
My
my time.
time.
Thank you, Okabe. I do need to hydrate. Graham appears to have left the building, so we are going to re-roll real quick here. Give me just a moment.
I'm glad we got far in Resident Evil 3 tonight.
We
We're
got
almost at
so
the end.
far in Resident Evil 3.
Yeah, we're almost at the end of that game.
General Malice, we greatly appreciate that offer.
Yeah, thank you, General Mouse. You were the best.
Let me just see
And thank you
real.
for all your support over the years.
Yeah, seriously, it
Yeah.
is not gone unnoticed.
Nope.
Corin has enough channel points. Well, don't use them because we're gonna end the stream anyway. You gotta use
I
it.
think Corin said she had like 100,000 channel points or something. Like it's some ridiculous number, and she's just lying in wait to destroy a stream.
All right, I believe we've got another winner.
It's Will B.
It's not Will Be. It's
not Will B.
no dite, whose name I will never get correct. If you are here, no dite.
Oh yeah, that person's been with us for years. Give them rail break.
If they are still here after all these years, then they
For
will
all
win.
these years.
There you are. Okay, I think you know the drill.
Hey!
Think you know the drill. No dite. No dite. Can you
Gonna...
tell me one more time how to say your name? Because I'm tired of saying your name wrong. Is it no dite or no deet or no dit? But whisper us on this account. We will get you the code shortly after this stream ends. That being said, that's it for us today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your support over the years and for supporting Shades of Horror. We've had a lot of news recently this week, and we're glad that we finally got to share with you our plans for Shades of Horror and how we're going to get this thing going out the door. So we hope you look forward to playing it a little earlier than normal.
I'm not making another trailer for a while. I just want to make that clear to everybody. I've made like 7 goddamn fucking trailers in the last month and a half. I'm done making trailers for a while.
Oh wait.
So enjoy the trailers you all have.
Wait, it's no HDYT. Is that how you say it?
Really?
No HDYT is, I think, is if
Nope.
I'm reading that correctly.
Nope.
I've been.
This is as bad as when I had to figure out how to pronounce Corinne, and I was like calling her I think I called her like Coraline at one point.
Coraline. Oh, no high definition YouTube. That's the name. Okay, no high definition YouTube. That is it. I will remember. I'll try very hard to remember
no
that.
High definition.
Going forward. All right, guys, we are gonna send the raid over to a friend of the stream. I think. Let's see.
It's Corinne.
Either a friend of the stream or a friend of mine, because they're one and the same.
There you go.
So let's see here. I'm gonna send you guys. I think I've sent you guys to Jaxler before. He was with me at PAX this year. Ran the game Vex for the GDQ speedrun stage.
Nice.
So we're gonna send you there. Let me get that going quick so I don't ruin it, because I will forget and then hit the wrong button. Again, thank you everyone today who watched, who hung out, who entered the giveaways. Congratulations to those who won. Congratulations to well, I don't remember who else we're congratulating, but my brain was going to say something else and I kind of lost it. But thank you to everyone who resubbed tonight. Thank you to Holster for the raid. We will see you guys sometime next week, most likely. I'm going to guess probably Wednesday, but we will communicate about that.
We do have a game release coming up, so probably there will be things to talk about. We actually have to finish Resident Evil 3 at some point.
We do have to finish Resident Evil 3.
Yeah.
So, with that, good night. Give Jaxler some love, and we will see you soon. And again, this VOD, the new trailer, and the Kickstarter post will be up by tomorrow. So, good night, everybody.
Good night.